What is up, everybody? Welcome to today's video. In today's video, we will be talking about Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 3. Rick Flag shows up, at least a alternate version of Rick Flag Jr. on this alternate Earth, a Earth that we'll just call Earth 2 for the sake of this video. He shows up, and on this Earth, he's kind of soft. You know, comedy relief. He's actually, the stuff he does is hilarious, like trying to sneak and see what Peacemaker and that version of Amelia is talking about. Like, that was hilarious. But before we jump into more of that, if you are new here, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're returning, please like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching on TikTok, any other social media platform, follow me. It's Lance Geek Drums everywhere, talking about this stuff all the time. If you enjoy it, drop a comment, drop a like, share, subscribe. That's all I got, I guess. This episode picks up. This week we're picking up from before the events of the Suicide Squad. I knew that Amelia didn't, too much care for Peacemaker in season 1. Turns out our Rick Flag Jr., the proper one from this Earth, the one that we know from the Suicide Squad, the one that's a military man, all that good stuff. He and her were like, he was apparently her only friend, and they had a sexual type relationship as well. But at the same time, he is with June Moon. Yes, the June Moon from the first Suicide Squad film. Now, I know a lot of you are probably saying, Geek Drums, how is that possible? That wasn't a James Gunn involved film. They could just be name dropping. Some stuff did carry over from David Ayer's film to James Gunn's Suicide Squad film. So it could just be a name only. If that version of June Moon does ever show up, it could be played by a completely different person. It does not have to be Kara. It could be played by a completely different person. So that's neither here nor there. They're just dropping lore, dropping more nuggets for this world. It's world building, and I like that. I like the fact that we're world building. Now, we do still pick up with Peacemaker waking up on that Earth. He was basically drunk texting Amelia, saying that they'll meet up. We had a funny little joke of him trying to hurry up and rush a pee. Him basically trying to get information out of his brother, trying to find out where Amelia works at. What does he get around on this Earth? Because again, he accidentally killed himself, and he is taking his place because on his Earth, he is depressed. He wants to find meaning. He wants to be a hero. And on this Earth, he wants Amelia. And on this Earth, he feels as if maybe he could slide into these shoes. His brother's alive. His dad's alive. His life seems perfect on this Earth. So, of course, he would go along with this. We do have a bunch of heart-to-heart moments between Chris and his quote-unquote brother. It was cool to see. We have a lot of nice, touching moments. We do find out that this Chris does have a substance abuse problem as well. And by this Chris, I mean the Chris from this Earth, the Peacemaker from this Earth. He does have a substance abuse problem. But we also do find out when Peacemaker is out on his peace cycle with his peace motorcycle helmet, this world loves him. This world loves him. Another thing that I'm seeing a lot of online that I didn't really peep when I first watched it, kind of funny, lack of diversity in this. Is this world like a purely racist Earth? Because, I mean, we all know how Augie was on the other Earth. We know how their dad was. So is he like that on this Earth too? I don't know. I didn't see a lot of black people, but yeah, everybody loves. Like, women are flashing him. Kids cry at the sight of him, just not because they're scared, but because they love him so much. They're excited to see him. Everybody's cheering him on when he's riding down the street, and he loves this, except for the kid that started crying. That kind of freaked him out a little bit. He's like, that's a bit much. Understandably so, but he's enjoying the perks of this Earth. He even finds out that his retinal scan is the same as the Peacemaker of this Earth. So that was interesting to find out as well, that his anatomy is somewhat the same. I thought it would be a little bit different. That's how it works in the DC multiverse. In other multiverses in general, something will be a little bit off. Even when him and Amelia do have their heart, she says you're acting a bit different, and they do agree to come to some sort of arrangement that he'll start working on himself if they could eventually get back to getting to it, if you know what I mean. But as they're having this talk, the Sons of Liberty attack, and they attack in the weirdest way possible because they have explosives. And one of these weird hillbilly dudes is running, and he just so happens to trip and fall, and well, he blows himself up. Blows himself up right in front of Amelia and Chris, and it blows them back. That's when all the shenanigans ensue. We get some of the best action of this episode was really good. Really short, but it was really good. We get some of the best action with Peacemaker taking out these Sons of Liberty. And at first my wife was sitting there like, ooh, what if they don't kill on this earth? No, they kill. Because when you see Captain Triumph barrel through that helicopter, once all the fighting is over, first of all, Peacemaker's kills are freaking amazing in this. Axe to the head, and he's moving like a machine. Like, this is why Argus says on the main Earth that the Peacemaker is an asset. Christopher Smith is an asset. He's moving like a machine, like a robot. Nobody got a lick off on him. Like, he hit dude in the head with the axe. The other guy snuck up behind him, grabbed him by the knife. The guy was resisting, so he literally pelvic thrusted and pushed the dude into his own knife in his eye, saving the woman. Let's not talk about the fact that he killed one dude with a fax machine, copy machine, like literally copy machine, then made him pew the other lady, like. And then the lady's boyfriend walks up, and well, he puts two in him as well, and then the rest of them run into him in the hallway, in the stairwell, and he puts one through all of their heads with accurate precision, like straight headshots. And then he disarms the bomb just by unplugging it, and he saves the day. And yes, Captain Triumph blows up his helicopter. Now back on Earth, our regular Earth, Addie is trying to talk to Amelia, trying to talk to them about what's going on between her and between Chris, and this conversation is not going so well. She also is trying to figure out why she wakes up so easily and doesn't have a hangover, but of course Amelia's been putting back alcohol for like months since this whole thing's happened, so she probably used to having this type of hangover. John is asleep in the bathtub. Amelia tricks Vigilante Chris Adrian into going in and saving John from choking on his own vomit because he fell asleep in the tub, because Adrian starts talking about how he knows a whole bunch of stuff about different animals. I think this time around it was tarantulas and other manta rays. Dumb funny conversation, but it just lets you know that like Adrian's a weird dude, but he is also an asset. He does make them smile though, and I can appreciate that. He's also wearing Amelia's robe, and Adrian's ripped. I'll give him that. So then we cut to Adrian and John in the bathroom. We hear them in the background of him like literally sticking his finger in his mouth, trying to get him to not die on his own throw up, even though that's not what was happening in the first place. It was just funny to hear. It was funny to hear. So John does get a call while he's in the bathroom, just quizzing Adrian on his tarantula knowledge, and he has none whatsoever. He says tarantulas have a pair of eyes. Like, he has no knowledge of tarantulas at all. But gets a call from Sasha Bordeaux talking about why didn't you tell me that the Peacemaker had some sort of mutant duck, playing into the bird blindness joke, because Tim Meadows' character, Agent Fleury, is an idiot. We have so many agents down. Tells me that it's an eagle, and she looks visibly pissed at Fleury. But bird blindness, it is a thing, and it afflicts everyone. Apparently, it afflicts everyone. Guys, I don't know. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny playing with that whole thing. But basically tells John, we're moving on Christopher Smith's house. We have to find out what this anomaly is coming from, because we do not want another incident like the Metropolis incident. And if you don't help us, you can either leave or you'll be fired. But we're partnering you with somebody else if you do indeed stay. Turns out that it is Judo Master again eating the flaming hots. And that's when the episode ends. They're moving in on the house, and Chris is coming back. Perfect time to come back to your own world when this is all about to happen. But yes, so this episode, we had a lot of lore, learning what, Rick Flag was doing before his death with Amelia, learning that they were indeed friends. That does kind of play into why she kind of hated Chris in the first season and why she may have resentment towards him now. I enjoyed it. I give this episode a solid 9.5 out of 10. It was just short. seemed like when the episode went off, me and my wife were sitting there like, oh, that's it. But let me know what you thought about this episode down below in the comment section. And if you are new here, like I said, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me for more. Follow me for more. Follow me for more from my TikTok people. And I'll catch you all next time.